Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss a video from Fever FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is RJ Glenn. Welcome to Fever FM. Today I have the rockstar, popstar, songwriter, most importantly, mental health advocate Ananya Birla with me here on Fever FM. How are you doing?
Hi, Glenn. I'm doing good. I am very good at video. Huh?
I'm so happy to meet you. I mean, we were supposed to meet in the real, but unfortunately, we got to meet in the real now because of certain circumstances. But I'm really happy to, jam with you as always.
Likewise. I love talking with you. It's always so real. You better get better fast with that leg of yours so we can meet in person.
I know, seriously, I need to meet you. For people who know, I've just damaged my I've damaged my knee. और ये अनहोनी कैसे हुआ मुझे पता नहीं, but
you could be a really good rapper because you have a way with words. Think about it.
Let me think about something so that the next time we meet I can share a few ideas with you and maybe we could collaborate and jam on something.
Done. Why not? I love it.
All right, guys, Ananya is here for a very, very important reason. She's dropped a pop track, something that's absolutely different in my personal opinion. Now, you've done a couple of Hindi tracks. You've done one with Rahman sir, Hindustani Way. Love that one. That was the Tokyo Olympics 2020. Prior to that, you had collaborated with King and Rahul. What a beautiful track. And now this is a full-fledged Hindi track. Inaam for Rudra, which is out on the OTT platform. Tell us about this track, yeah? How did this happen?
Yeah, it's very interesting because Glenn, you've been part of this journey right from the beginning, and it's been a lot of me writing stuff about what I want to write about, right? And I've always been that character, my emotions, my experiences. So when Rudra came to me and they asked me to do the title track, it was really interesting because for the first time, I had to write from someone else's point of view, Rudra's point of view. And that was a great learning experience for me because I had to take a step back and think of how he would see life given his circumstances, given Rudra's character.
Right.
He's in the police force, he's trying to catch criminals, he's got a dark mind, but he's a hopeless romantic, he's a little bit heartbroken. And the Rudra, which is on Hotstar, it's a remake of Luther. But it's in our context, it's in the Indian context. So it's shot all over Bombay. The color grade is a little bit bluish, dark. It's a very dark, intense show.
Very brooding, dark, intense.
Exactly. There's a level of mystery, pain, and so I really wanted to embody him and his thoughts in the title track, and it was a great learning experience for me because, like I said, I've not done it for a title track before. And it was a lot of fun. I could actually take a step back. I got a little bit more space, funnily, because I didn't. It wasn't personal, right? It's from someone else. It's through someone else's lens. So great experience for me, and I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. I'm very proud of this one.
I'll tell you what I really liked about this track, especially your vocals. It had a very different texture to it. It was more intense, like you mentioned, more intense, mystifying, more broody, very, very, very different from all your tracks. Because most of your tracks, if I listen to them, they're very happy, they're very there.
Yeah.
In fact, even one of my personal favorites, so I have one or two of your tracks on my Spotify go-to playlist, and I had to mention this one to you. Let's Get Lost hits me in a different space. There's this part where you speak about we're making our own rules, where you speak about how you're facing your truth, you're facing your reality, but let's get lost. And I'll tell you the line that hits me the most is that let's get lost once more. The part where you say once more.
I love that you love this song. I think you're the only person in this whole world in India who likes this song. So I love you for the fact that you like this.
I love it. It's on my Spotify playlist because there is I feel music hits people differently, and each and every one of us have our own. We have our own understanding of that particular track. So that particular part is very therapeutic and cathartic to me because I'm obviously associating my story with that line. That let's get lost once more. And I don't know why it hits differently, but it does. So, even when I listen to this track, it is sung with a particular emotion. But when you look at Inaam, very different vocal texture, very different preparation. Can you take us through that journey?
Totally. So I purposely chose that lower register in my voice because that lower register I have that texture going, which is
Right.
something that I'm going to be using in more of my songs now. Is that slightly
Okay.
lower register in the song? So the koi yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of notes which I've pulled. There's a lot of the vocal production was on point, I think, and. It's one of those tracks where I feel like the production came together really well, the vocals came together really well. In fact, I did the vocals a couple of different times.
Okay.
I did it the first time, I wasn't too happy with certain things. I did the second time, I loved the text on the second time. Then we tried to put it together, it didn't work out. Then I went into the third time. So I really went in line by line and honed it. And then the lyrics changed in the middle. So it's been quite a process to get this song going. But I'm very happy with where it's at, and I'm happy that we sang it in that lower register. And the melody line also kind of fits in there, and so it worked out well.
It did make a lot of difference to the entire feel of the song. Like we mentioned
Yeah.
earlier also, the song is very intense. It requires a certain character. And I think you did fantastically well in that, because for me, when I heard it, I said, wow, she pulled that off. I mean, she's got a range. I mean, an artist is infinite. That is what I believe. And it's so nice to see you try this and that, and everything that's, in your repertoire.
Thank you.
What's
Yeah.
the biggest Inaam you have received after you've sung? Like, you collaborated with Rahman sir, you've collaborated with XYZ people. What's the biggest Inaam that Ananya has received as an artist?
Whew, I think people's love. I think nothing can replace, when you're on, you know this feeling when you're on stage and everyone is singing your song with you, and they're shouting your name, and there's just so much love. And I've been on the other side. I've done the same for other artists. So I think, an Inaam as an artist, my biggest Inaam has been everyone's love. People streaming the music, people giving me their feedback, good or bad. The fact that they want to say something to me, if it's coming from a good intention, means a lot, because they want to add value to the journey, my journey. So people's love 100% is my Inaam. And in general life, just like in life, I think Inaam is when you have abundance of time, right? Because that's one thing that no one can. That's what I say. For me, privilege is, for me, it's when if I can ever have unlimited time, because that's something that time, we all have a limited amount of time. So
Wow.
luxury
Actually,
is unlimited time.
very beautifully put. And I think time also for yourself, most importantly, and for family and people who you care the most. I think that's the biggest thing
100%.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Spending
So,
time with people you love, nothing like it.
absolutely. I'm going to ask you one question that you've probably been asked time and again. But along with being this persona that you are, that you're creating with your music and that you've already established, there are times where you get flack for things that aren't in your control and things that you haven't done at all. Negative comments, or people saying, oh, she comes from a certain space, so she can do this, she can do that. How do you handle that bit? Very honestly, because a lot of aspirational people who look up to you and aspire to be somebody like you, or people who aspire to take up music as a career or be in the limelight, you have to understand one thing: there's always going to be some amount of backlash that is going to happen. How do you handle it as an artist? What do you do? How do you shield yourself?
Yeah, initially it was a little bit tough, because I was like, why are they not seeing me for me? What is going on here? But I've reached a stage where I just think that my background is a huge blessing, and that's about it. It's not their fault. Some people are not going to understand it, but that's not going to stop me from working hard and achieving what I'm achieving and continuing to achieve and keep moving forward. And people will always have their view, and that's okay, because even I can have my view. And that's just what life is about, right? We just have to keep moving forward. So to be completely honest, right now it doesn't bother me. Now tomorrow, if there's a stupid comment that I read on Instagram and I'm like, oh no, then I don't know. But I've made a lot of personal progress, and but you're human, so
The funniest is sometimes I'm just browsing through some of my artist friends who put up the music, and I go through their comments, and I'm telling them, okay, great music, I love the sound of it, and I'll dissect every sound, because I really enjoy that process, because I feel whether the song is great or not, I'm sure there's something in that song that works well for me. And I choose one principle in life. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. And I'm not trying to be all holier than thou or nice and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you need my critical opinion, you will ask me for it on a personal level. I don't have to get out there on a public forum or a platform and express my views if they're slightly negative. I can message it to you or call you or say it to you in a certain way. Every comment, there's this banter going on between fan clubs on the comment section. There's one comment which has been common across all artists. Ronaldo is better than Messi. It's so funny. There's intense arguments happening about the artist's vocals. There is an intense conversation going out there about the sound quality. Messi is better than Ronaldo. And I'm like, oh, wow, how does this even happen? Do you come across bizarre? Sorry.
I have on YouTube. I have come across this actually, and it did catch me. I'm like, oh wow, what? Then I thought maybe there's a match today, but now they're just saying it. It makes more sense.
It's very random. It's out of nowhere. Ananya, I'm going to be dropping the track on the show. If you could do 2 lines for us right now.
Totally. कोई राज यहाँ रहता ही ना हर एक का कोई है दाम तेरा जो दाम मेरा ही काम मेरा इनाम मेरा इनाम.
Damn. I don't mean to compare an artist with another one, but the kind of vibe that I just felt right now, immediately thought it was very much Adele in Skyfall. It felt like that.
Thank
you.
you.
That it just felt like that. It's like, dude, this is so. It's like I said, it's so different to hear you sing this song and obviously perfect and do a wonderful job with it. Ananya, thank you so much, and thanks, and that's a wrap. Thanks, thank you so much for your time, man. I'm so happy to be with you.